Oh. Hey. I didn't see you there. But I guess you can see us. Because it's time for some more Monopoly. That's right. The tournament is continuing tonight. This is the 28th episode of this season. It is June 20th, technically. Somebody's talking in the background. I don't know who it is or what the fuck they're talking about. But that's okay, because this is live and shit like that happens. So, as I said, it is June 20th at this point of 2024. It is technically a Thursday now. And we're going to get this tournament match underway. I know Travis is ready, and I hope that you are too. Because we're going in 3, 2, 1.
Monopoly. Here come the players. The red player Kyle, the gold player John, and the green player Dave. I'll be guest Mr. Monopoly tonight. And while we have your host, Ferguson.
Wow. Thank you so very much there, Travis Coulter. He is the announcer with the most. And we're also going to get to see him down in here on the floor tonight, getting to be Mr. Fishopoly, I guess we'll call him now, because he lives in the land of flying fish. So, hey, everybody. It's good to see you here again. I know you're probably wondering, where the hell were you on Monday night? Well, we weren't here. And why were we not here? Well, we're about to get to that. But we're just glad that you are here, or eventually that you come in, or hey, who knows, maybe you don't watch it till it's on demand. That's okay too, because that still means you're watching it. But we are ready to go on with our third and final semifinal game of this season and this tournament, and going to be filling that final spot in our Tournament of Champions championship game that's going to be happening next week. Of course, we'll talk more about that when we get to the end of the game tonight. But let's go ahead and meet our contestants tonight. Of course, in the red position, it was originally supposed to be Kyle Hirshon there, as you see on the screen. But Kyle, due to some exciting new news in his job life, is not able to be here. So as the producers, we all met together. We've decided we're letting him play with a proxy tonight. And we think you'll find that proxy to be quite interesting. And it was decided by Kyle who that would be. And he has chosen this person. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. It's Jason Myers.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Kyle Myers.
It's you.
Yeah, so can't do it for the long term. Right. Well, we will go ahead and remind everybody that Kyle did claim the number one overall seed from our regular season by winning a total of $90,365. So he earned that. He earned the right to be in this tournament, and that's why we decided to do what we did, to where we let him choose a proxy to stand in for him. And, of course, Jason, if you're able to win this game tonight over some very formidable competitors, then you will actually earn that spot for Kyle in the finals. So, again, just so I'm very clear about that, if Jason wins tonight, Kyle will advance on to the championship game next week. So, Jason, knowing that, I guess it's kind of a twofold question. One, how does it feel knowing that if you win, you're actually sending someone else to the championship game? You don't get to do it. And two, how much pressure is that on you knowing that you're playing for somebody?
As long as I get a cut of whatever he wins in the championship game, I'm fine with it. But as far as pressure's always been there. It's never left. Not once.
Hey, maybe if you win, he will invite you over for one of his world famous Kyle Hirshon taco nights.
Yeah, I heard about those. I'd rather not.
I mean, just because the homeowners association sent him a letter doesn't mean anything. But
yeah, Taco Bell also sent him a C&D. That still didn't mean a thing.
well, but the smell, however, did mean something.
Right. It was just another regular night.
Yes. Well, hey, here's the good news. That this means you get to play again. I know you enjoyed the game. You were going to be here anyway because it was either play or be Mr. Monopoly. So, I mean, hey, it kind of works out.
True. But I'm just glad it's not Jose filling it.
Well, and we will say we like to give Jose that good-natured ribbing, but he did do a very good job filling in for you and the weeks that you were out. Yeah, when it came down to it, and what we'll talk more about, as we did mention, Travis is going to be filling in tonight as Mr. Fishopoly, or we may have to come up with another one because if Gianni was to ever be Mr. Monopoly, I guess he would be Mr. Fish, just spelled differently. But either way, we thought Travis deserved this right because he has definitely been someone that has been very loyal to this program. So,
Mr. Fried Chickenopoly.
Yes.
Fried chicken.
Mr. Bakopoly. There we go. Yes, and if you don't know about Baku, go look in the playlist for Tic Tac Turd Season 1, and you'll find out all about Travis's adventures at Baku. So, Jason, of course, we already know pretty much everything about you, so I'll just ask you one of the most serious questions I've ever asked you. And that would be, if you had to be on a desert island with anybody in MVG, who would you most not want it to be?
Well, that's simple. I'd rather it not be.
That is a fantastic answer. And if you guys, I mean, I guess that person's probably going to be frustrated now that you said their name, but what? That was beeped out? Shit. Well, that wasn't beeped. Okay. All right. Well, Jason, good luck to you tonight standing in for Kyle Hirshon. You're definitely still going to need it, and Kyle's probably sitting there at Fox 5 up in New York saying, please, God, let him win this for me. But yeah, good luck to you as we move over to our gold podium here and we meet our number 5 overall seed in this tournament. He was able to win in the regular season a total of $55,116 and was a champion in his own right. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Mr. John Bergman.
Very good. Thank you very much.
John, it is good to have you back here with us once again. Like I said, $55,116 that you were able to win during the regular season. You were actually a 2-time champion, number 5 overall seed coming in here. What would you say, what are kind of the thoughts and emotions going through you right now, knowing that you're just one step away from the championship game?
But I still don't know how I can be here, to be honest with you about it, but there's been some great players, and but I'm just happy to be here.
Well, hey, we're definitely happy to have you here. So, John, if you would just go ahead real quick and remind us where you're from and what you do for a living.
Okay, I'll tell you, basically, but I'm from a small town in Indiana, and but I'm a retired cashier, but at a nationally known grocery store. So,
well, and hopefully retirement is treating you well.
But I wish it would treat me a little bit better, but that's another story anyway. But
well, you know, even if that's not treating you well, I'm sure Grandma Bergman is definitely keeping an eye on that baby boy.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. It's what can I say? But I'm trying to keep. I'm trying to keep the momentum going. But because everyone in my family, including myself, is a practicing sex maniac. So
Well, so I'll ask you the important question that I think all of our viewers want to know. If you were to ever get married for that 113th time, why
yes.
have you got it written down as part of your prenuptials that you will be allowed to use Kevin Henry as your best man?
But there you go. But I'll tell you one thing. The only way I could ever have Kevin Henry as my best man, is if I get married to a 90,000-year-old Tibetan monk with an IQ of a turnip. Please up. So I mean, and also, just to be screwed over as well. But that's probably the only reason why.
I can think of another reason.
I mean, at the end of the day, what other reason do you need than turnips? I mean,
Exactly.
Because somebody's got to remove the garter off of Kitty Burger.
this is true.
And to help switch holes as well.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, seeing as how I was fully expecting you to say that someone's got to make sure that they put the powder on before the diaper goes on. I mean,
Well, you only do that if you've lost a stroke.
this is true, and again, turnips. But John, we wish you the best of luck tonight as you make your play for the final spot in the championship game. As we move over to our green player now, he is our number 6 overall seed. Finished the season with $48,247 to his name. He also won 2 championships during the season. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Monopoly stage, Mr. Dave Standish.
Hello, Turd. How are you?
You know, I would tell you, but unfortunately that's covered by 13 current copyright patents. But yes, hey, David, it's good to have you back here. I know that part of what had us, of course, held off until this very, very late hour on a Thursday is that there was, of course, work schedule conflicts with both Kyle, and I know you had some conflicts as well. But luckily, you were able to find your way here, so we didn't have to have a proxy for you as well. So definitely good to have you back here. Knowing that you're going up against John Bergman, who I think we all agree here at MVG, one thing that we can all agree on is John Bergman is the personification of a living legend in MVG, as well as Jason Myers, who is no slouch in his own right. What are you kind of thinking and feeling as you come in, trying to find your way into the championship game?
Just concentrate on each question and be faster on the buzzer than they are, I guess.
Well, and as I kind of take a peek back into last season, in season 1 itself, you were one of the people, one of the few people at that did not make the tournament in season 1, but that was able to work their way up into the tournament this year. Would you say that that's basically, I guess, in its own right, showing that when you put the work in, good things happen?
Yeah, I would agree with that completely. That's a great way to describe it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I was able to put it so succinctly. So if you would, Dave, remind everybody where you're from and what it is that you do for a living.
Well, I am from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'm a sports broadcaster and a bar trivia host.
Oh, wow, bar trivia.
Yep.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I would definitely love to get into that a little bit more myself. So, Dave, the burning question that we need to ask you, of course, as I said, it looks like things have really went your way this season. One thing that often shows luck like that would be a 4-leaf clover. If there was anyone inside of MVG that you would be like, man, I'd love to give them a 4-leaf clover so their luck would be better, who would that be and why?
So that their luck would be better. You know what? Adam Oliver needs a break or two. He seems to get unlucky with the roll of a die or the flip of a card more than anyone else. So that would be my answer.
Hey, that's I think that is a perfectly good answer, and I think if Adam was here now, he would go, oh my. So, good choice by you. But Dave, again, best of luck to you tonight as you strive to find your way into the championship game. Ladies and gentlemen, those are our contestants. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do something ahead of time, which we don't normally do. Let's do that buzzer check. So there we go. Good job, Jason. John?
Hold on. Grandma, get off me. Grandma. No, Grandma. Grandma.
She likes to climb Mount John. There you go. Thank you, John. All right, then, Dave. Fantastic. All right. So we've got all those buzzers working. So let's get into this thing here. Of course, this is round one, our acquisition phase of the game. So, of course, to our players and to those of you watching at home, whether live or on demand, of course, we're going to be going around our board one complete time. We're going to stop at each individual property. You will notice that property towards the bottom, you'll see a dollar amount. We're going to ask trivia questions. What? Trivia questions? Why would you ask trivia questions? Isn't that too hard? Wouldn't it just be better if you asked them what their favorite color smells like? Well, it probably would be if we did that, but we also wouldn't want to offend people in Australia and possibly make them cry. So instead we ask trivia questions just to find out what is their actual knowledge. So if they get that trivia question correct, then we will give them the dollar amount that's at the bottom of that property. If they get it wrong, however, it will cost them that money, and the other players will be able to buzz in. If no one's able to get the question correct, then we will give them a new question, but we will then cut that property value down in half until we get a correct answer. Once we have all of the properties that are owned by the players in that color group, if someone owns all of them, we're going to give them a special bonus, which will be the combined value of all those properties. If multiple players own it, then we'll do a special showdown round, and we'll talk more about that as it comes up. So with that being said, players, I wish you the absolute best of luck as we get into our game tonight. And we start with our brown property group and Mediterranean Avenue. This is a $60 property, players. Best of luck to you as you race for the championship game. Here is your first question. Players, in history, who was convicted for the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy? John.
Saran.
Saran is correct. $60 to you. You have one brown property. We now move over to Baltic Avenue. This is another $60 property, and here comes that question. How many rings are featured on the official Olympic? That's Kyle.
5.
5 is correct. $60 over to you, and I'll probably bounce back and forth between saying Kyle and Jason. So, $60 over to you, Jason. So now we're going to have a showdown because one property each is owned by John and Kyle. Yeah. So, Dave, you'll be sitting this one out. So, Jason and John, one question correct answered is all I need for you to take that property group. So, here we go, hands on buzzers. In industry, which country produces more of the world's wine? France or and that's John.
France.
France is correct, and John, you have taken the brown property group. With that comes $120 of combined value, taking you up to $180. We now move over to our light blue properties and Oriental Avenue. This is a $100 property. All players are involved. Here comes your first question of the light blue property group. In theater, which British composer scored both Jesus Christ Superstar and Cats? That's Dave.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Andrew Lloyd Webber is correct. $100 to you. You have one light blue property. Next up is Vermont Avenue. $100. This question. In sports, which former Cincinnati Reds manager was banned from baseball for gambling? That'd be Jason.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose is correct. $100 to you. And Kevin Henry would be proud of you. One for Dave, one for Kyle. Next up, you did it. Next up is Connecticut Avenue. $120 with this question. In Morse code, how many dots does it take to send the letter S? And that's Jason.
3.
3 is correct. $120 to you. You're up to $280. All right, so Dave, you have one of the light blues. Jason, you have 2. John, you don't have any, so you'll sit out here. So, Jason, I need 1 correct answer. Dave, I'm going to need 2. Here comes your first showdown. What is the state bird of Florida? Jason?
Flamingo.
No, I'm sorry. Dave?
Pelican.
Nope, that's incorrect. It would be the mockingbird, actually. The mockingbird. And right now it's mocking you. All right, so let's go to another showdown. In 1848, 6 New York newspapers agreed to pull together, forming what worldwide news service? Dave?
Associated Press.
Associated Press is correct. All right, Dave, you need 1 more correct. Jason, still waiting for 1 correct from you. Here comes that next one. Which inventor was known as the Wizard of Menlo Park? Guys, that would be Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison. All right, next one. In mythology, which Greek warrior was slain by Paris after being wounded in his vulnerable heel? That'd be Jason?
Mythological hero Achilles.
Yes, Achilles is correct, and you have taken the light blue property group. With that comes $320 of combined value, taking you up to $600. Now we turn on to 2nd Street and our magenta properties. We start with St. Charles Place. It's a $140 property. All players are back involved. Here's your first question. On television, which brand of cognac does Saturday Night Live's The Ladies' Man always have on hand?
Damn it.
That would be Cavatier.
Damn.
All right, that means we're going to cut that property value now down in half, $70. Next question. In the Dr. Seuss story, Horton Hears a Who, what kind of animal is Horton? And that's John.
It was an elephant.
Elephant is correct. $70 to you. You're up to $250, and you have 1 magenta. Next up is States Avenue. $140, players. Here comes your question. In language, which 3-word Latin phrase translate to I came, I saw, John?
Veni Vidi Vici.
Veni Vidi Vici is correct. $140 to you. Takes you up to $390. All right, now we go over to Virginia Avenue. $160, players, for this question. Pregnant, hanging, and swinging are terms describing which portion of a ballot that has not been completely removed. John?
Chad.
Chad is correct. $160 to you for that property. And John, you already own all 3 of the magenta properties, which means we will hand those over to you. $440 of combined value comes along with it, taking you up to $990. We now go into our orange properties. We start with St. James Place. It's a $180 property, players. Here's that first question. Everyone's involved. Which pacifist received the Nobel Peace Prize for helping to... And that is Dave.
Gandhi.
No, I'm sorry. That's going to cost you 180. I'll finish the question. Which pacifist received the Nobel Peace Prize for helping to end China's domination of Tibet? John.
The Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama is correct. $180 to you. You're up to $1170. You have one orange property. Next up is Tennessee Avenue. $180. This question. Which eccentric comedian did Jim Carrey portray in the movie Man on the Moon? Dave.
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman is correct. 180 to you. Takes you up to 100. One for Dave, one for John. We now go to New York Avenue. $200. Here's the question. In geography, what is the world's tallest waterfall? Jason.
Angel Falls.
Angel Falls is correct. 200 to you. Takes you to 800. So, this is our first time. All players have one property. So, you'll all be involved in the showdown. Whoever gives me two correct answers first, which they do not have to be consecutive, will take the orange property group. Do remember, players, I should have told you this earlier, there is no loss if you get a question wrong here during the showdown. So here we go. Here's the first one. What was the maiden name of the late Diana, Princess of Wales? And that is Jason.
Sawyer.
No, I'm sorry. It's not Sawyer. John or Dave? And be John.
Spencer.
Spencer is correct. Spencer for hire. All right, so John's got one. He only needs one more. Kyle, you can file a complaint with the Unequal Opportunity Bureau. Here we go.
Said that too.
Right. Here we go. Next showdown question. In art, what S is in Sam is the movement most associated with painter Salvador Dali? And that is Jason.
Surrealism.
Surrealism is correct. One for Jason, one for John. Dave, you can still get in this. Next question. In chemistry, which element from the periodic table combines with oxygen to form water? Dave.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen is correct. All right, you all have one correct answer. Whoever gives me the next correct one takes the orange. In computer terms, what does the acronym DOS stand for? Dave.
Disk Operating System.
Disk Operating System is correct. And Dave, you have got your first Monopoly. That gives you $560 of combined value, taking you up to $660. We now turn on to 3rd Street. We're at our red property group, and we start with Kentucky Avenue. $220, players. Everyone's involved with this question. In economics, which animal represents a declining stock market? That'd be Jason.
Bear.
Bear is correct. 220. You're up to 1020. Next up is Indiana Avenue. $220 for this question. In fashion, what F as in Frank is a red brimless hat named after a city, and that is Jason.
Fedora.
No, I'm sorry. That cost you 220. It's named after a city in Morocco. John.
Fez.
Fez is correct. 220 to you. You're up to 1390. John, you own one. Jason, you own one. Next up is Illinois Avenue. $240 for this question. In television, what is the name of Homer's youngest daughter on The Simpsons? Dave.
Maggie.
Maggie's correct. 240 to you. Takes you to 900. Once again, all three players own a property, so all of you are involved in the showdown. Here's the first question. In transport, Y, Y, Z are the code letters, and that's Jason.
Toronto.
I'm sure Dave's ready to kick your ass right now. Toronto is correct. So that's
It's my favorite Rush song.
So yes. All right, Jason, you've got one now. Here's the next one. In astrology, Which sign of the zodiac is also called the water bearer? Jason.
Aquarius.
Aquarius is correct, and Jason, you have taken the red property group. With it comes $680 of combined value, taking you up to $1,480.
I'm sorry, Dave.
We now go to the yellow property group, and we start with Atlantic Avenue. $260 players, everyone's involved. Here's the first question. In history, which state became the first to ratify the U.S. Constitution? And that'd be Jason.
Delaware.
Delaware is correct. 260 to you. You're to 1740. Next up, we've got Ventnor Avenue. $260 again for this question. Led by Joe Namath, what was the first... and that's Dave.
New York Jets.
New York Jets is correct. 260 to you. You're up to 1160. So one for Jason, one for Dave. Next up is Marvin Gardens. $280 players for this question. Located in Nottinghamshire, England, which wooded area was home to Rob... and that's Jason.
Sherwood Forest.
Sherwood Forest is correct. 280 you. You're up to 2020. All right, so Kyle or Jason, you have 2 correct answers. Dave, you have 1. Yeah, you did it. And Dave, you've got 1. So John, you'll sit this showdown out. Dave, I need 2 correct answers. Jason, I only need 1. In music, what is the stage name of Bat Out of Hell singer Marvin Lee? And that's Jason.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf is correct. And Jason, you have taken the yellow property group. With that comes $800 of combined value, taking you up to $2,820.
Okay, Dave, let's get on Kyle. No, I'm just Point Sinatra.
We now turn on to 4th Street. We're with our green property group, and we start with a very... Yes, Dave.
I was waiting for it.
Toronto. Oh, have we moved past that question? Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for waking up, Dave. But yes, so we're that very specific avenue. It's Pacific Avenue. $300. Everyone's involved. Here's your first question for the Greens. In math, what is the square root of 121? And that's Jason.
11.
11's correct. $300 to you. You're up to 3120. Next up is North Carolina Avenue, home of Brandon Scruggs. $300 for this question. Often seen on warning signs, what 2 words are combined to form the term hazmat? Dave.
Hazardous materials.
Hazardous materials is correct. $300 to you. You're up to 1460. 1 for Jason, 1 for Dave. Next up is Pennsylvania Avenue. $320 with this question. In science, what W is a unit of power equal to 1 joule and that's Dave.
Watt.
Watt is correct. 320. You're up to 1780. All right. For this showdown, Dave, you've got 2 correct answers already. Kyle, you've got 1, or Jason. And John, you didn't get any there, so you'll be sitting this one out. So Dave, give me 1 correct answer. I'll give you the greens. Jason, give me 2. I'll give them to you. Here we go. Here's your first showdown question. Which company originally released the party game Twister in 1966? Jason.
Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley's correct. All right, next correct answer takes the monopoly. Which Playgirl cover model gained renown as OJ? And that is Dave.
Kato Kalin.
Kato Kalin is correct, and Dave, you have taken the green property group. With that comes $920 of combined value, taking you up to $2,700.
I'll be here with the turtle wax.
We now move over to our final property group, our dark blues, and we start with Park Place. This is a $350 property. All players are involved. Here comes that question. In literature, which French physician wrote the book of rhyming prophecies titled Centuries? And that's John.
But Nostradamus.
Nostradamus is correct. $350 to you. You're at $1,740. And we now come to our final property of the acquisition phase. This is the big one. It is Boardwalk. $400 players. Here comes that question. According to the title of the Rob Schneider film, what is the profession of Deuce Bigalow? Dave.
Male gigolo.
Male gigolo is correct. $400 to you. You're up to $3,100. So this last showdown will be between Dave and John. One correct answer takes the monopoly, and we come to the end of the round. Here is that question. In jewelry, how many carats is pure gold? And that's John.
24.
24 is correct, and John, you have taken the dark blue properties. With that comes $750 of combined value, taking you up to $2,490. And that sound means we have come to the end of the acquisition phase. Let's take a look at where we currently stand. Right now, in third place overall, is John Bergman with $2,490 and 3 monopolies. In second place currently, barely, is our green player, Dave Standish. He has $3,100 and 2 monopolies. And finally, in first place is our person playing for Kyle Hirshon. That's Jason Myers. He has $3,120 and 3 monopolies. And at this time, we are going to take our first commercial break. As we're in that commercial break, our players are going to be spending some of that money to make upgrades to their properties, doing houses and hotels. And when we come back, we're going to play that all-important 15-minute big money round to find out who is going to move on to the championship game and get one more opportunity to go once around the block right here on your favorite board game that's now a game show. That's right, it's Monopoly. Welcome back here to Monopoly. Man, we have got one absolute hell of a game going on here. I don't care what you say. Let's take a look at where things stand right now. After we have made all of those upgrades, the players spent $50 for each house. If they could get 4 houses on the property and they built evenly all the way across, then they could spend $50 more, so $250 total per property. $500 to $750 for each Monopoly group to be able to go all the way to hotels. You can see once again, just like has happened many times this season, we are hoed out on those properties. So right now, John Bergman, our gold player, is sitting at $740. Jason Myers, our red player, has actually dropped down into second at $870, and our green player Dave has leapt up into first place. He has $1,600. And ladies and gentlemen, this is that time that we go ahead and bring in our fantastic announcer for many of our programs at Grandma Studios, and definitely here, he's been here with us both seasons for Monopoly. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome out here for the first time, I believe, this season as filling in for the Mr. Monopoly position. It is Mr. Bockopoly, Travis Coulter.
Mock you.
Well, we'll talk more about that backstage, but yes, Bach you as well. And I believe if you could remind us all, what was the famous chant that they did at the sporting events at Baku?
Fried chicken, fried chicken, fried chicken, fried chicken, fried chicken.
I mean, who would ever forget that? But yeah, it's good to have you back here again, Travis. And like I said, the first time has been in the Mr. Monopoly position. As I was mentioning before you came in, we've got one hell of a game going on here right now between these 3 players. What would be your breakdown of the game so far?
Money is about to be won and lost. Money has been won and lost, and we'll see how much more money will be won and lost.
Fantastic there. Thank you very much for that very astute commentary. So would you say that from what you've seen, is there any one person standing out to you that's looking like they could be the one to win this thing?
Honestly, no. It's actually it's a very it's almost even. I mean, if there was one more property group, I would say that they would probably all have 3. But since it's 8, it's really going to come down to these hostile takeovers, and it's going to come down to the knowledge of the questions and the dice roll.
And very, very, very true there. I know that I've been kind of watching to the side here, and we've had a few more of you join us in the live chat. Although you're not really talking yet, we can see the numbers that are showing up and kind of bounce around there. We know it's late at night. Some of you are going, what the hell is going on here? We just had to start a little late tonight because of some other games going on, but we are glad that you have joined us. Yes, this is the 3rd semifinal, and you came at a perfect time to join in on this because we are about to start our 15-minute big money round, and here, again, is how it works. Our players are going to be going around this board as many times as they can based on the dice throw from Mr. Bockopoly over there, Travis Coulter. We will stop at as many of those properties as we can. If we happen to land on someone's individual property, they will get a trivia question that's just for them. Wait a minute, you said trivia? We're still doing trivia? Wait a minute. I thought that the best thing to do here would be to take the tic-tac-toe game show and do it like Hollywood Squares and just ask true-false questions. Wouldn't that be better? No, it's better if we ask trivia questions here because we want to know what they know. So, we'll ask them that question. If they get it correct, they are going to get the dollar amount that'll show up on the card there in the middle of your screen and the board for the hotel that is on each one of those properties. If they get it wrong, they won't lose any money, though, but it will become a toss-up question for the other players. And if they get it correct, they're going to get to steal that rent money. But If they get it wrong, they're going to lose that amount. So they've got to be very careful and really feel great about knowing the answer. We've also got some of those other properties like our utilities out there, electric company and waterworks, where the roll will determine how much we're playing for. We've also got my favorite spots, chance and community chest, which I've got those all shuffled up and ready to go, that were split up backstage by the lovely wife of mine, Erin Montgomery. And and of course, we've also got those railroads, which will be hostile takeover time and can change the game in an instant. So with that being said, I hope you're ready, because it's time for us to do the 15-minute big money round. And again, this right here is going to determine it all. So once Mr. Backopoly gives us that first roll and we get moving, then we will start that 15-minute timer. So, Mr. Backopoly, tell us what we're doing.
All right, our first roll of the game. It's a 7, 6 and 1.
So we got a chance card already. Fantastic. And we draw that first chance card, and it tells us, advance to the green player's next property. All right, so we're going to race around over there. That's going to land us over on St. James Place.
And since that's a question, right? Hey, guess what? Dave, you got a hotel on this property? This question is to you, and it's worth $950.
All right, Dave. Semper Fidelis, meaning always faithful, is the motto of which branch of the armed forces?
I'll flip a 4-sided coin and say the Marines.
And it landed on heads. The Marines is correct. $950 to you. You're up to $2,550. Mr. Backopoly, next roll, please.
5 and 2. We got another 7.
And that takes us to Indiana Avenue.
All right. And with the hotel on that, Kyle / Jason, this question's worth $1,050.
All right, Jason. Which 15th century Bible printer is considered to be the inventor of movable type? John.
Gutenberg.
Gutenberg is correct. $1,050 to you takes you to $1,790. Next roll, please.
All right. I swear they're not weighted, but we got 5 and 2. We got another 7.
Oh, and that's going to land us on the go to jail space. That's going to cost $50 for each player to immediately get out. That adds $150 into the free parking jackpot, which now stands at $650. Next roll, please.
I wonder. That's 3 of them already. Oh, okay. Now, doubles. 4 and 4. We have an 8.
And that takes us to Tennessee Avenue.
Almost. We're staying away from those card places. Hey, Dave. Got a hotel on there? This question's worth $950.
All right, Dave. What N is in Nancy is a medical disorder characterized by sudden and uncontrollable attacks of deep sleep.
Narcolepsy.
Narcolepsy is correct. $950 to you. You're up to $3,450. Next roll.
I think I suffer from that sometimes. Can't stay up late in here. 6 and 3 for a 9.
And that will take us to Ventnor Avenue.
All right. Jason, you own a hotel on this property. This question's worth $1,150.
Jason, in which month does the Mexican holiday Cinco de Mayo occur?
May.
May is correct. $1,150 to you. You're up to $1,970. I swear it's in order. Next roll.
4 and 6 for 10.
And that takes us to Park Place.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Part of you to put a hotel on this. This question is worth $1,500.
Alrighty, ready.
John, in mythology, who is the Greek god of the sea?
Poseidon.
Poseidon is correct. 1,500 you're up to 3,240. Next roll.
3 and 4, back to 7 again.
All right, we have passed go, but we've landed on income tax. Tell them about it.
Oh, all that money you just got from Go? Well, you can't keep it because we got to put it for income tax. $200 for you. Sorry.
All right, so that $600 that you guys have paid in total goes into the free parking jackpot, taking it up to $1,250. Next roll, please.
3 and 2, we have a 5.
All right, that's Connecticut Avenue.
All right. And that belongs to Jason. So a hotel on this is worth $600 on a question.
Jason, which American town was the site of a trial and hanging of 19 women thought to be witches in 1692?
Salem.
Salem is correct. 600 you're up to 2,570. Next roll. We're coming up on 10 minutes remaining.
Salem, Missouri. 3 and 1, it's a 4.
States Avenue.
All right. Heading into the pinks, we got a hotel on this. John, this question to you worth $750.
John, what English word can describe both a type of fruit pie and one who mends shoes?
Cobbler.
Cobbler's correct. 750 to you. 39.90. Next roll.
4 and 2, it's a 6.
And that's New York Avenue.
All right. Dave, got a question back for you. You got a hotel on it. It's worth $1,000.
Dave, in music, T-Boz, Left Eye, and Chili are members of what R&B girl group?
TLC.
TLC is correct. $1,000 to you. You're up to $4,450. Next roll.
4 and 2, we have 6.
And we've landed on the B&O Railroad.
Oh boy.
Can we light that number up, please? Oh, wait, no, sorry. Railroad hostile takeover players. Turt's going to ask you a question. Whoever gets it right has the chance to take over someone's property. Could be a pivotal move in this game. Listen up.
All right, players, hands on buzzers. From the Persian for waistband, what is the broad pleated sash worn with a dinner jacket? And that is John.
Cummerbund.
Cummerbund is correct. All right, John, which of either Jason or Dave's properties would you like to attack?
You know something, but I'm going to take Jason's property, and I'm going to take Oriental, or try to Oriental, Vermont, Connecticut.
All right, so we will start at Oriental. Remember, get one of these 3 questions wrong, and you will lose that hotel money, and it will get paid over to Jason. So here we go. First question, $550 is at risk. In movies, which game show was the subject of Robert Redford's Academy Award-nominated film quiz show?
21.
21 is correct. All right, now we move over to Vermont Avenue. Question 2, $550 at risk. In hobbies, what does a philatelist collect? And just so you understand, that's Philatelist.
Stamps.
Stamps is correct. And we move over one final time to Connecticut Avenue, $600 at risk here. If you get this question correct, you will have stolen the light blues from Jason. Here is that question. Which serial killer, known as the Killer Clown, was executed on May 10th of 1994?
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy is correct, and John, you have stolen those light blue properties, meaning $320 of combined value is coming your way, taking you up to $4,310, and this hostile takeover is successfully completed.
Put down the axe, Jason. Put down the axe.
All right, next roll.
That could have been a gambit, damn it.
5-1-6.
That's Pennsylvania Railroad.
Right back into it, players. Want to
Yeah.
take revenge or take it from somebody else? Hostile takeover time. Kurt's got a question. Listen up.
Players, in the original Star Trek television series, which character was played by James Doohan? Jason.
McCoy.
No. Dave.
Scotty.
Scotty is correct. Dave, which property group would you like to attack?
The Browns, Mediterranean and Baltic.
All right. He wants to meet the Browns. All right. So you're only going to need to get 2 correct to take this. Lower risk. All right. $250 is that risk on this first question. According to legend, what was the name of Paul Bunyan's blue ox?
Oh shit.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is Babe. So that means we're going to take $250 away from you. We're going to pay that to its current owner, which is John. And that means this hostile takeover is unsuccessful. Next roll, please. Under 5 minutes remaining.
5 and 5 doubles. 10.
And we're on St. Charles Place.
John, chance to widen the lead. You got a hotel on this property? $750 for the question.
John, in geography, 8 of the 10 highest mountains in the world are found in what country?
Asia.
No, I'm sorry. Toss up now for Jason or Dave. And that's Jason.
Nepal.
Nepal is correct. $750 to you. You're up to $33.20.
I gave the continent, didn't I?
You did.
Yes.
Next roll, please.
This is a country, yeah. Right.
Doubles again. 3 and 3 for 6.
And that takes us to Community Chest.
Oh, goody.
All right. And that first card says, Building Code Violation. The first place player is going to pay $250 to each other player. So we'll be taking away $500 from John, $250 to Dave, $250 to Jason. Next roll.
Careful, you guys. You might get caught for speeding. Hopefully not. 5 and 2 for 7. You're safe.
And that's Illinois Avenue.
All right, Jason. Chance to recoup some money. You've got a hotel on this. It's worth $1,100.
Jason, in movies, which comic actress headlined the film Superstar as schoolgirl Mary Catherine Gallagher?
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon's correct. $1,100 to you. You're up to $46.70. You're in first place. Next roll. Under 3 minutes remaining.
Doubles. 2 and 2 for 4.
And that's Waterworks.
Utility moment for you guys. You have a chance to win $100 times the roll just had. $400 for this question. Listen up.
All right, players, toss up. Which computer company was founded in 1976 by Stephen, and that is Jason, excuse me.
Apple.
Apple's correct. $400 to you. You're up to $5,070. Next roll.
6 and 1 for 7.
And that's the short line.
Back to the hostile takeover players. Kurt's got a question for you. He's got a chance to take over someone's property. Listen up.
Which San Francisco merchant began his clothing line by selling pants made from tent canvas to California gold miners? And that's John.
Levi Strauss.
Levi Strauss is correct. John, what property would you like to attack?
Let's do St. James Place, Tennessee Avenue, and New York.
All right, we start with St. James. $950 is at risk here. Here is the first question. Which North Carolina village was the site of the Wright brothers' first flight of a power-driven aircraft?
Kitty Hawk.
Kitty Hawk is correct. Next, we go to Tennessee Avenue, 950 at risk. Which nickname was legally added to the full name of boxer Marvin Hagler? I'm sorry. The correct answer there is Marvelous. Marvelous. So, I'm sorry. We got to take $9.50 from you. That will pay it over to Dave. And this hostile takeover is unsuccessful. We have well under a minute to go. Next roll.
5 and 1, 6.
Illinois Avenue.
Back to you, Jason. You got a hotel on the property. This question's worth $1,100.
Jason, what L as in Lisa was selected as Toy of the Century by Forbes magazine?
Legos.
Lego is correct. 1100 to you, 6170. Next roll.
2 and 6 for an 8.
All right, and that will take us to North Carolina Avenue. Players, I can tell you, time has run out. We will complete this. We will complete this, whoever the hell hit that button. So, this is North Carolina Avenue.
There you go.
So, yeah, still. So, Travis, we're on North Carolina Avenue.
Sorry. Got lost in the confusion. Dave, you got a chance at this question. It's worth $1,275 with a hotel.
All right, Dave. In the Jules Verne classic 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, who is the skipper of the submarine Nautilus?
Nemo.
Nemo is correct. 1275 comes to you. 6675. And with that, we have come to the end of this round. Let's see where we are at in this exact moment. So, right now in third place is our gold player John Bergman at $3,110. In second place is our red player Jason Myers at $6,170. And in first place is our green player Dave Standish at $6,675. This is where we're going to take our final commercial break. As we do, in that break, we are going to sell back all of the upgrades to the properties those players still own. And when we come back, we'll add that money to their totals and find out who is going to go on to play for some big money in our bonus game and who's moving on to the championship right here on Monopoly. Welcome back here to Monopoly. My good Lord, we have had probably one of the best tournament games that we've had yet, and it is time to find out who is moving on. Let's do this. So we start with our player in reverse order. John Bergman, you came in third place at the end of that last round at $3,110. We sold back all of the upgrades to the properties you owned, which you were able to pick up one in that round, which helped net you $2,500 additional dollars, meaning tonight you finish with $5,610. Now we move over to the player that was in second. It's listed as Kyle Hirshon. It was Jason Myers playing in his stead. Jason, you were able to amass $6,170. When we sell back your upgrades, you were able to net $1,500. When we add that to your total tonight, you finish with $7,670. And now we go over to the person that was in first place at the end of the previous round, our green player, Mr. Dave Standish. Dave, when we sell back all of your upgrades, you were also able to net $1,500, meaning tonight you finish with $8,175. Dave Standish, you are the winner, and you're going on to the championship game of Monopoly. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dave.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, Dave, we'll come back and talk to you here in just a moment. But first, we're going to start with our gold player, Mr. John Bergman. John, man, it was a top-notch game, and it come down to the very end. I think as we kind of break this down here, I think if there's anything that we could quote unquote maybe call a faux pas, and I think if we go back and maybe look at it, maybe the difference in the game is that you attacked Dave's property when you went after the orange. Yeah. We would have to go and look at it, but that right there, I think, would have definitely made some changes to the game. Now, had you taken it, of course, that would have made a massive difference in the game. But yeah, going after his property, could have maybe swung the game there. Do you, at this point in the game now, with everything said and done, do you still feel good about that decision, even though it didn't work out in your favor?
But the reason why I did was because I thought I did to Jason or to Kyle, and I thought that I'll just try and do it today, but that marvelous Marvin question, that boxing one, just shoot me in the foot. So, but I'm not angry about it. But in fact, once again, I shake Dave's hand because it was a fantastic game between the three of us. So whoever was going to win it earned it, and that's the truth.
Absolutely, I could not agree with you any more than that right there. Again, I know a lot of people always use the phrase that you have nothing to be ashamed of, and it really comes true here. This was one of those. It was a battle all the way to the end. All three of you were in it until the waning moments of that game. So, John, you should be very proud of yourself. Just as we have done with our other semifinalists that have not made it on, we're going to take your $5,610. We're going to multiply it by 5 for you making it to the semifinals but not winning the game, which is going to net you for the season an additional $28,050, which means for season 2, John, you are going to walk out of here and going into your MVG bank account once the season is completely over, $83,166. John Bergman, congratulations to you, and thank you for being a part. And before we let you go, we're going to let you have the final words here for yourself as you get ready to depart our Monopoly stage.
Grandma, stop touching the host. No, I'm just kidding. What can I say? It was, I had an amazing time being here. I ran up against some fantastic players, and especially with this episode, these two people right next to me, basically, they earned the right. So, just to be in their company, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could have won, but still, it was a hell of a game. So, I've got nothing to complain about.
Hey, I couldn't agree with you more. Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, give it up for Mr. John Bergman. Congratulations to you, John. And we look forward to having you back in season 3. All right, next up, we move over to Jason Myers. Jason, I think while Kyle will be ultimately disappointed that is the number 1 overall seed, he is not going to be moving on to the championship game. I think you did him very, very well, able to net $7,670. You only wound up coming up short $505. So, with that being said there, Jason, how do you feel about your overall performance today?
Roger, when's the last time somebody was in 2 different finals games and lost both of them?
Well, I can tell you one of the times that happened, and unfortunately it happened to me. Back, I think it was 2 years ago, Game Show Marathon. I lost the first, I guess, quarterfinal, semifinal match, whatever. I guess it was quarterfinal match that I was in. But then I was asked to come back again because of someone that had to step out, and I lost again. So, yeah. It happens to all of us. You're right. But, yeah, so, Jason, again, we cannot thank you enough for being willing to step in here. I know it was a lot of pressure, but you handled the pressure well. I think when we look at it, truly you
Diana Sawyer.
Yeah, well, other than that, although I'm sure she'll report on it on ABC World News tonight. But I would say you handled the pressure this time. Yeah, you handled the pressure this time better than you did in your own semifinal match. So when we take that $7,670, just like we did for John, we're going to multiply that by 5 for Kyle. We'll add that $38,350 into his season total, meaning that Kyle will finish the season at $128,715. And Jason, our utmost thanks for you. And hey, again, the good news is you are going to the championship game, but it will be back in your position as Mr. Monopoly. We promise we won't call you again.
I can't lose a third one. Cool.
But yes, so Jason, you got to already say your goodbyes last time, so I won't make you do it again. We will just say thank you, and we look forward.
Watch the other episode if you want to goodbye.
Yes, there's a playlist. But yes, we will definitely see you again in season 3 as a player. We'll see you in the championship game next week. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Mr. Jason Myers. And now we come over to the man of the hour and a half, however long this has been going on, Mr. Dave Standish. Dave, I know just a few days ago when we talked, you were thinking that you might need to be replaced yourself, but luckily you were able to get things, I guess, worked around and worked out to the point you were able to come back and keep a hold of your position, and thank God you did, because you're now going on to the championship game. Tell me, how does it feel?
Well, this is why MVG is the best game show server online. There is just no doubt about it. The quality of the competition, the quality of the production, the quality of the people. There's nowhere you'd rather be than right here, and that's probably one of the, win or lose, that was probably one of the most fun games I've ever played here on MVG, and If I don't get Captain Nemo, I lose. If John doesn't miss Marvin Hangler, I lose. And if the dice don't go my way, I lose. So it is what Monopoly's all about, and what those hostile takeovers how they can change a game in an instant.
Well, and I think the interesting thing to be said is that you were with us in season 1, as we mentioned at the beginning of the program. And last season, you finished in 18th place overall and only was able to win $2,510 for the entire season. And here you are now. You are one of the final 3 that's going to play for the championship. And on top of that, when we take that 81.75, the winner actually has their winnings multiplied by 10. So we're going to add an additional $81,750 to your total just for now, putting you at $129,997, and we've not even played the bonus game yet. So if that's not a quote-unquote worst to first type moment, I don't know what is, and I know you've definitely got to be proud of it.
Yeah, a lot of things had to go right, and they all went right. And usually for me, it's the opposite. So I am just grateful beyond belief. And again, win or lose, this was one of the most fun games I've ever played because the quality of the competition was just at the highest possible level.
Well, and here's the good news. We've told you where you're at right now, what you won so far tonight, but you still have that opportunity to go once around the block and really add some cash. You want to go do it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go once around the block. All right, Dave, so we are now here at our bonus game. Again, once around the block, your goal is in 5 rolls or less to make it all the way around the board 1 full complete time. Now, we are going to help you along the way. If you ever roll doubles, we'll give you some additional rolls, of course. For every spot that you make it around the board, we normally give you $100. Tonight, although it won't show up on the board this way, we're going to double that and make it $200 a space that you make it around if you'd like to walk out a little sooner. Now, if you can make it all the way around the board and go past go, it's normally $25,000. Tonight, we double that and make it $50,000. And if you can land exactly on go and become the 3rd person to ever do it, we will take that $50,000 that it normally is and double it and make it $100,000. Now, we got to make it a little bit tougher than that, of course. Of course, in the upper right-hand corner, you see that go to jail space. Well, we're going to ask you to add 4 additional go to jail spaces around the board. We're going to put 1 additional one on 2nd Street, 1 on 3rd Street, and 2 on 4th Street. So if you would please, Dave, and you can ask for help if you'd like, we're going to put that 1 on 2nd Street between St. Charles Place and New York Avenue.
I'd love to get some help from Jason and Johnny as to where I should place these.
You start first, Jason.
I would say States Avenue.
All right, let's do it.
All right, States Avenue. Now we need 1 on 3rd Street between Kentucky Avenue and Marvin Gardens.
Oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm thinking maybe Indiana Avenue.
Yeah, Indiana and B&O, please.
Okay, so there's only 1 on 3rd Street, so you'd need
okay.
to choose one of them.
Well, why would I give myself too many?
Right?
Yeah, let's make it even harder. No, Indiana, please. Thank you.
All right, and then we need 2 on 4th Street between Pacific Avenue and Boardwalk.
I'm thinking community chest and luxury tax.
All right. Okay. Yep.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, it works.
All right.
All right, so there is our 4 spots. So, of course, as we said, 5 rolls. We hope you get some doubles in here to help you along. $200 of space. Let's do this. So, we've got Mr. Bacopoli. He's got the rock and roller fired up. And whenever you're ready, Dave, tell him when to stop.
Now, please.
Start with 5 and 2, a 7.
I've seen this before.
All right. So that's 7 spaces. Again, we double that. So it's $1,400 right now if you want to walk away, or you can continue on. 4 rolls. Your only bad roll is a 6. Continue on or walk away.
Continue on.
All right. The rock and roller's going. Tell him when to stop.
Now. Four and 2 for
Dave, I am so sorry. Officer Barbrady says, move along. Nothing here to see, you bunch of looky-loos. Oh, man, that... Oh, man, that hurts. Well, of course... 81.75 that you won in the front game. We multiplied that by 10, $81,750. But the good news, Dave, you might have gelled out there, but you will be coming back next week to play in the championship game. What are your final thoughts for tonight?
being grateful again. Just everything had to go right. If one thing went sideways, this doesn't happen. So I just have to take the good with the bad, and be happy. And I can't wait to play the championship game.
Well, hey, and we can't wait to have you back here either. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Dave Standish, our third and final semifinalist. Well, now is the time that, of course, I've got Travis here with me, and Jason will pull you in on this as well. So the finals are now set. So our three finalists that will be coming back for one final chance to play Monopoly and go for the Season 2 championship are Scott McVeigh, Peach Twisty Buns, and Dave Standish. So, early on, gentlemen, and I'll start with you, Travis, of those three players, who do you think we're going to see become the Season 2 champion?
Oh, man. There's a lot of fast buzzer action between all three of them. The knowledge is really, it's a big collective. It's going to be really hard. I don't really want to put a name out there because then that maybe puts extra pressure on them, but I guess to see if they can handle it, Steffi.
Okay. Hey, fair enough. And Jason, to you, who do you think is going to come out victorious in the championship game?
Honestly, all three of them are on equal footing. I really don't see any one of them having a distinct advantage over the other one. But it's going to be real interesting regardless.
I would have to agree with you there. I think that there is going to be a stage full of knowledge. On that night, you've got...
Might be a stage full of blood, too.
There may be. You have got Peach, who, when he's not singing to himself, the man knows his stuff. You have got Dave Standish that just proved to us that when the time comes, he's going to know everything he needs to know. And then Scott McVeigh, the man is, someday he is going to be probably, I think, looked in the same vein as John Bergman as far as being a trivia legend here. Probably a few other verbs will go along with that, or adjectives or whatever. will be attached to his name, but one of them will be Trivia Legend, I do believe. So it's going to be a big one. Boy, I can't wait for it. I know you guys can't wait for it either. Hey, we want to thank all of you for coming out at this late hour to be able to see this third and final semifinal game. Again, the finals are set. Peach, Dave, and Scott will be back next week. And what happens next week besides just it being the championship? That's right. Our friends over with the VR studios are going to open up the virtual reality Monopoly set. So you are actually going to get to see us live and in person on that virtual reality set. And hey, we'll put the information up. If you're interested, I'll go ahead and tell you. You can go online and download VR Chat. You'll be able to find it on the Steam platform. And if you want, you can find your way into the studio that night to actually sit there and watch it live. While you won't be in here with us in the Discord, you can actually come and sit in the studio that night if you would like and watch. It is just something very special to actually stand on the stage that night. We do not have an exact night that it will be happening, but we will get that posted out there as soon as we have a better idea what night that's going to be happening. So definitely keep your eyes on the community tab of the MVG Productions channel, and we will get that information to you just as soon as we get a date settled for next week. We do plan on it being next week at this time because in just a little over a week and a half, as some people have mentioned in the live chat tonight, the 2024 Game Show Marathon will be starting to air, and we definitely want to get Monopoly wrapped up before that. So definitely be on the lookout for all of those things coming to MVG. And if you're not already a part of the Jakaya 316 Land of Confusion channel, please make sure that you go and sign up to watch his content as well. Episode 24 of Definition from season 1 has found its way out there, and I know episode 25, season 25 probably will never happen. Unless it's
25 happens, I'm probably in the grave.
Unless it's Jason's grandchildren by that point, or great grandchildren even possibly. But yes, episode 25 won't be too far behind. So definitely go and check that out with Jason. Definition. Oh my God, so freaking funny. But yeah, as always, thank you again for coming out and watching at this late hour. We really appreciate it, and for all the support you've given us during the season. But it's time for us to get out of here. For our players, for Travis Coulter, and for Jason Myers, I'm Turd Ferguson, and you sure as hell aren't. We'll see you back here next week for the Season 2 championship game of Monopoly. Until then, take care and good night.